Autoline Daily is brought to you by Borg Warner. Feel good about driving. Bosch. The number of clean diesel models in North America will double by 2014. Bosch Clean Diesel. Good, clean, fun. Bridgestone. Your journey, our passion. Dow Automotive Systems. Improving durability and increasing design flexibility with Betamate structural adhesives at dowbetamate.com. And by the 2013 Hyundai Sonata. Learn more at hyundaisonata.com.
Welcome to Autoline Daily for June 19. I'm John McElroy, and here's what's happening in the global automotive industry. General Motors is changing the way its design operations are organized. It will now have designers more aligned around its brands rather than having them organized on a geographical basis. GM's Vice President of Global Design, Ed Welburn, says this will give GM a more consistent brand message, a better understanding of each brand's customers, and allow more part sharing across brands. Ken Parkinson will head up Chevrolet and GMC design worldwide. Mark Adams will head up Cadillac and Buick. Dave Lyon will head up GM Europe design with responsibility for Opel and Vauxhall. And Clay Dean will head up advanced design worldwide. In an effort to offset slumping car sales in Europe and be more competitive around the globe, Renault is considering adding 2 brands to its lineup, luxury brands. Renault may revive the Alpine brand for sports cars and create a high-end brand called Initial Paris, or I imagine they pronounce it Initial Paris. Renault sales in Europe have dropped nearly 20% this year, which is over 2.5 times more than the industry as a whole in the region. The U.S. Environmental Protection Agency told environmental groups it will not regulate carbon dioxide emissions from airplanes, ships, and large off-road vehicles such as mining trucks. The EPA says it does not have the resources it needs to monitor all sources and will only focus on the largest contributors to greenhouse gases. Environmental groups say that about a quarter of all emissions in the U.S. come from planes, ships, and off-road vehicles. Ford says it wants to cut the amount of power it uses to make each vehicle by 25% by 2016. It's already down 20% since Alan Mulally took over in 2006. More efficient machinery and production methods, combined with better capacity utilization, get the credit. Energy efficiency, both in factories and cars, is a big part of Mullally's strategy for the company. And speaking of sustainability, GM now has its 100th landfill-free facility. It's focusing on reducing waste and recycling or repurposing materials like cardboard and old tires. GM says it recycled the equivalent of 38 million garbage bags at its plants worldwide last year and has cut waste by 43% since 1997. Automakers are scrambling to bring more social media applications into their vehicles, but they need to modify them so they do not cause more driver distraction. Mercedes-Benz is now bringing its app development in-house to make applications like Facebook and Yelp safer for drivers. It formed a new operation called Embrace2 to reconfigure some features and eliminate others. Facebook in particular loses the ability to send custom messages, instead relying on boilerplate responses. On Yelp, the system will focus on simpler star ratings rather than reviews and allow hands-free dialing to the businesses being searched for.
I'm Seamus McElroy in the middle of Texas Hill Country test driving the all-new Dodge Dart, and I'll have that report coming up next.
Reducing exhaust emissions, aerified diesel particulate filters, high filtration, low back pressure, small package size, excellent durability. DowAerify.com.
The compact car segment is loaded with competition. It includes the Ford Focus and the Hyundai Elantra, but it's about to get even more competitive with the introduction of the all-new Dodge Dart. Dodge originally introduced the Dart back in 1960. It stopped producing the model in 1976, but now it's being revived for a new generation. While the only thing the new Dart has in common with the original is its name, it does find its roots in another model.
Well, what we took is we started with the Alfa Romeo Giulietta platform, which really is one of those world-renowned platforms, and renowned for its driving dynamics and the steering feel that you get back into the vehicle. So we left all of that intact, but then we lengthened it about 10 inches, and then we also widened it a couple of inches as well. So that way we're getting that mid-size level of interior roominess, and yet still within the footprint of a compact car.
The Dart has several powertrain options. It's standard with a 2-liter 4-cylinder mated to a 6-speed manual transmission, a 1.4-liter 4-cylinder turbo, and a 2.4-liter 4-cylinder are the other engine options. The 2.4-liter will be available later this year. Besides the manual, a 6-speed automatic as well as a 6-speed dual dry clutch transmission are offered. I found that the 2-liter with the automatic was a bit sluggish at times, but overall it has enough power when you need it. And the 1.4-liter with the manual was, not surprisingly, more fun to drive and was smoother than the other setup. With the 2-liter and the manual, the Dart gets a combined 29 miles per gallon, and the 1.4-liter with the manual gets the same combined MPG. These are the only EPA numbers currently available, but more info should be available soon now that the Dart is hitting dealerships. But what sets the Dart apart from its competition is its interior, and in our opinion, it's one of the best in the segment.
One of the biggest things with the Dart was really getting back into our surfacing, having fun with the surfacing. You're going to see that in the Dart. There's huge sculpted surfaces. We tried not to kind of gaudy it up with a lot of bezels and different things like that. We tried to let the surfacing, and then when you see throughout the lineup the colors. We use a lot of colors in the interior. We have 14 interior color combinations, so it really gives someone sort of that mild to wild approach when they're trying to go out and find which car really best fits for them.
And it's not just the interior and powertrain that offers lots of choices. There's 12 exterior colors, and Mopar will offer 150 accessories to customize the Dart.
As we mentioned, the all-new Dodge Dart goes on sale in June, with the starting price just under $17,000 including destination. For Autoline Daily in Albert, Texas, I'm Seamus McElroy.
Dodge sure has a lot riding on that new Dart. This represents the first time it will have a fully competitive car in the C segment in the North American market. Hey, make sure you do not miss Autoline After Hours Thursday night. It's going to be the most unique show that we've ever done. That's the night we're celebrating 15 years of Autoline, and I'm inviting everyone who's ever been on any of the Autoline shows to be here that night. We're going to have a party that's part of the show, and a show that's part of the party. So join me and the auto extremist Peter DeLorenzo for what promises to be an internet first. But that wraps up today's report. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.